Hello and welcome to Master Your Mindset with your host, Isis Foster. This is the place to be for anyone who is on a personal development journey. I will be sharing with you my own mindset hacks and personal past experiences. Please subscribe and share if you enjoy what I'm about to share with you and you've taken value from it. You never know who may need to hear it. Excited about today's topic because it is something which has played on my mind for a while now, and I feel like I use this podcast to outreach anything that's been on my mind or anything I've kind of been in contact with in terms of like friends or relationships and anything that's come up which I know will have an impact and can create value for people. So today I want to be talking about stepping out of your comfort zone into the uncomfortable zone, which, let's be honest, nobody ever likes feeling uncomfortable. We are naturally born to be in comfort zones, and in comfort zones, we know nothing bad can happen there because we've created this safe space for ourselves with everything going exactly how we know it to be. Everything is exactly how we like it. And there are no challenges there usually in comfort zones. So I'm going to be speaking about this because this week in particular has been a really eye-opening week for myself. As many of you know, I actually left my previous role that I was in for 5 years, and I've now taken on a new role with a new family, new setup, new schedules. Everything is so new to me, and I'm going to be completely honest and transparent with you all. It feels uncomfortable. It feels really bloody uncomfortable, but I know that this role is challenging me in better ways, and I know that I'm pushing myself, and then I'll be able to look back in a couple of months' time and know that everything that I'm currently going through right now is going to pay off. Because we always say in the moment, like, oh, I wish I could have this, or I wish I could have that, or wish I could just earn a little bit more money. And then the universe almost serves it to you. And then you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't want this. And it then actually creates a bit of confusion, I think, because you ask for something, you receive it, and then you don't actually want it. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, that is how I have felt this week. And I think it's my brain telling me that this is very different to anything I've experienced before. It's very different to any setup that I've been in before, and it's just going to take a bit of time. So I want to be talking about the top things that you can do to push yourself out of your comfort zone if you're scared of doing that, or once you have pushed yourself out of that comfort zone, what can you do to make the situation feel better for yourself? I didn't want to say the word comfortable then because I don't want you to feel comfortable. Feeling uncomfortable is actually the best thing that you could do for yourself. Personally, this is a new role that I've taken on, so a new family I'm working with. And it is all very different to the previous role that I was in. And obviously I was in that role for 5 years. Like, anyone who is in a job at the moment, 5 years, regardless of the industry, is a long time to be in one job. And I think I did just get very, very comfortable there, which wasn't a bad thing at the time. In fact, it was so easy. I loved that job. Could have done it with my eyes shut. But there was a big part of me that wanted to push myself out of that comfort zone. I always knew that I could do more and be more and earn more. And I'm now living that. And it's incredible. But do not get me wrong. It is scary because it's not what I'm used to at all. Done the same thing for 5 years. So now stepping out of that and taking on something new is absolutely terrifying. But also you need to think long term, and you need to think about what do you actually want in the long term. Is it to create a better career for yourself? Is it to find that partner who relates to all of your values and has your back on everything? Or is it to take some time out for yourself because you feel so overwhelmed with how your life is going at the moment? Or is it just to take a break and go traveling? Whatever it is, only you will know in yourself what that is. So I have a lot of friends as well who have done the same thing year in, year out, and they always say, I'm so sick of my life, what can I do to change it? And again, you are the only person who will ever know exactly what you have to do to change the situation you're in. It may be jotting down 3 things that you want to achieve in the next year and finding a way to accomplish them. It may be opening your eyes a little bit and stepping out of that comfort zone and out of that box which you are so used to, in order to find something which at the beginning feels so scary, but over time, your routine will change and the things you're used to will change. And before you know it, you will have a brand new routine, but just at that next level. And honestly, that is the most beautiful place to be, because not only have you pushed yourself out of your comfort zone, then you can also take a moment and be so proud of yourself for doing that. Because in life, we ultimately have two options. We can live the same life year after year after year, decade after decade, and then by the time you're old and wrinkly and are on your deathbed, what have you actually achieved by living that life? Nothing. You know, one life and that is it. Or you can be that person who, even though it feels so uncomfortable, and even though it doesn't feel good and you are absolutely terrified and you feel so overwhelmed, take it all on, embrace all of the challenges and just push yourself to that next level. Now, I'm not talking about completely burning yourself out and trying to achieve unrealistic goals which make you feel awful. Please do not do that. What I'm saying and suggesting is to push yourself out of the comfort zone that you're in if you want to change your life, because the only person that can ultimately do that for you is yourself. You can go to coaches, you can go to mentors, you can come to people like me who can advise you on situations that you're experiencing, but the only person who will physically be able to do anything about the situation you are in right now is yourself. So if you're listening to this podcast right now and you're thinking, oh my goodness, like light bulb moment, something has clicked in my head and I know that there is something out there for me, I just need to figure it out. Take that time. Don't quit the job that you're in. Don't leave the relationship you're in right now. Just take your time to figure out exactly what it is, and then when you've got a clearer understanding of it, then put a plan into place. I work with clients on a one-to-one basis, week in, week out, and this is a common reoccurring topic which we speak about on our calls. And once you realise that there is more out there for you, and once you take that leap of faith, you may be absolutely petrified, but it is such a beautiful feeling knowing that you've pushed yourself, because as humans, we aren't meant to live the same lives every single year until we're grey, old and wrinkly. We're supposed to take on new challenges. We're supposed to experience new things, meet new people, go to incredible destinations. That is what we are created to do as human beings. So if you're not maximising your potential, your capability and your ability of being able to do that, you're really doing it all wrong. And I know some people are so happy with the situation they've built up for themselves and not changing anything. Fine. I'm never ever going to put my opinions on anyone else. But for those out there who want to change it, please do it for yourself, because you will be able to look back, or you'll be able to play this podcast back in months, years, or even decades to come, whenever you choose to take that leap, and you'll be like, oh my goodness, I am so grateful that I took that leap, even though I was shit scared, because that is literally where I'm at in life right now. I was in a position where everything was very comfortable, but I had this burning fire inside me to go and get more. I went and did it. I'm living that life now, and it is the best feeling ever. So I guess what I'm trying to say on this podcast episode is, if you feel like you're in a bit of a hole right now, if you feel a bit trapped, go out there and find out what it is that you need to feel free of that place, because there is so much in life to experience, so many things that you could be doing right now that creates that fire inside you. I know when I created this podcast, for example, like this lights something inside me and it makes me feel so good. I find it actually a way of therapy to be able to voice out all of my inner thoughts, and obviously being able to help everyone who listens as well is the most incredible feeling. So thank you so much for all of your feedback so far. It means honestly the world to me, and it just inspires me to want to create more episodes to help more of you out there, because we get one life. And it's as cliche as it is, we literally have one life, and what you do with that life is completely up to you. But just make sure you're doing it for yourself and you're living that life for you, not because of what this person said or what that person thinks of you. Make sure your life is as true to you as possible. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast episode, please tag me on Instagram at IsisFoster1 and I will reshare your post. Have a lovely day. I can't wait for you to tune into the next one.